In January of 2003, my husband passed away from cancer after battling it for 8 years. And, you know, with all that time that we had to prepare, we thought that I'd be prepared. But in truth, nobody can prepare you for the loss of a spouse beforehand. You just have, there's no concept. You're not trained. There's nothing that can ever prepare you to lose your spouse. I began to see that as people would talk to me or try to console me or try to say, you know, are you moving on? That nobody really understood what it was like to lose a spouse unless they lost a spouse, because the mother, father, sister, brother, all of that's not the same. I happened to be at our church with an appointment with our pastor, presenting something else totally unrelated to being widowed. And all of a sudden, it just came out of my mouth that if there were some people in this church who wanted to volunteer for people, I'd give them a group, and that's the widows, because I was a capable woman and I was stymied at everything else there was to do after you lose a spouse. And so he asked a couple of questions of me, and the next thing you know, he sent me down to pastoral care. And I went in, and well, the next thing you know, we started a widowed ministry that day. They wanted it for both the men and the women. And I really didn't know what I was doing, but there was a list of names of people, so I called them. And when I talked to them on the phone, I just said that, you know, you can help me because you've been through this. And we can share with one another. Anybody that's been through this can help somebody else who's just getting there. And so we started meeting, and every week that we met, our numbers would double the next time. And it would all start with, how long has it been for you? What's happening? What's going on in your world? How do you feel? There were a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, and we became so close. We really were a new family together.
I heard about this ministry. I knew nothing about it except what I found out on the website, and showed up on my own on a cold January night and walked in alone, and I don't think I've been alone since. The atmosphere was so warm and inviting, and I was overwhelmed, as I know almost everybody is, at a room full of 80, 90 people, and realizing there's no reason that you can't move on and have a healthy, full life surrounded by other people who've chosen the same thing.
Well, one thing that's kind of nice within the group is, and it is in a Catholic church, and we always pray, and of course we always have our Mass of Remembrance, and we used to have a priest that would come every single time until it got quite so big, is the environment of Catholicism. And that's why, to me, it's so important that the church offer this, because it's their church, and it just allows them to, it brings their church right to them, basically. You know, that was, if a person can't go to their church and get help, where are they supposed to go?
One of the items that I like most of all is late in the summer and the Mass of Remembrance. That, to me, is important, and there's a big takeaway for it, for me as well. It's been a big part of my life.
14 months after my wife passed away, I needed some way to get out to the world again, and by going to this ministry, it opened up a whole new door for me. I met a lot of people that were in the same situation as myself, and from there on, it just seemed to blossom from there, and it really has turned my life around in many ways.
There's a feeling of welcoming, and as I've said before, empathy, not sympathy, empathy. And how can we help you now? And usually everybody that leaves with a newfound feeling of, I found a new place. I've found a new group. I've had people tell me when we had 2 meetings a month that when they left, they were so excited because they knew in 2 weeks we'd get together again, and it gave them something to look forward to.